Good morning, dear students. Let's begin the last part of the chapter Soil Erosion and Conservation Measures. In earlier videos of teaching, we have already discussed the types of soil, and different types of soil are found in different places. In today's lecture, we are going to deal with the types of erosion which is caused by the human activities and natural activities. In this part, we shall going to discuss the erosion of the soil is a leading problem in the country, and therefore we need to be aware and we need to be very constant in touch to this problem, because our country is called the agricultural country. Most people in our country depends on the agricultural activities. Most of the raw materials also comes from the agriculture, which is supplied to the different manufacturing industries in the country. Therefore, if soil is not fertile, if soil is undergoing to the various erosion processes, and this, if government, we as a concerned and aware citizen of the country, will not look after towards this problem or will continuously ignore this problem, this would lead to the ill effects on the life of human beings. Therefore, it is our duty to protect and conserve this erosion, protect to conserve the erosion and makes the soil very fertile to grow different types of crops. So in this lesson we are going to discuss the types of soil erosion and how this erosion can be stopped by applying few methods to conserve the soil. Dear students, we have already discussed that soil is a renewable resource. The denudation of subsequent soil and washing away the upper layer of soil is termed as soil erosion. You know that formation of soil and erosion of soil goes on simultaneously, and there is balance between the two. Means formation of soil and erosion of soil. There is balance between the two, and in this balance is sometimes disturbed by the human activities. Which activities? Human activities such as deforestation, overgrazing, mining, etc. These soil erosion can be also taken place due to the natural calamities or natural forces such as wind, water. If there is very strong winds are blowing, and if there is high flow of water continuously over a large area, this also leads to soil erosion. Therefore, we need to consider this problem, and in order to overcome, how can we do to contribute and to protect and conserve the soil from becoming the erosion. So let's move towards the types of soil erosion. Number one, gully erosion. Gully erosion. Gully erosion is a type of soil erosion where water cuts through the clay soil and makes a deep channel of water. Water cuts through the clay soil and makes deep channel of water is called gully erosion. Means there is land. Suppose take this as example. This is land and water is flowing from the middle. A very high flow of water is continuously flowing from the middle, and after a long period of time, this particular middle part of the surface of the earth develops into deep channels. This is called gully erosion. And due to gully erosion, land becomes unfit for the cultivation. And when land becomes unfit for the cultivation, this land is known as bad land. badly. Because gully erosion is a very deep-rooted phenomenon, and in this gully erosion, the entire area gets washed out completely, and the land becomes unfit for cultivation because there is no fertility of the soil. This land is called bad land. So I hope you have understood the second. The second type of soil erosion is sheet erosion. Sheet erosion. In this erosion, only upper layer of soil get washed out because water flows continuously as a sheet over a large area down to a slope. This is called sheet erosion. For example, this is a part of the land, and the cover of this textbook we take as an example as a sheet. If water is flowing over this large area continuously down to the slope, then upper layer of soil get washed out. This completely removes. This layer only removes, means sheet of the land is removed due to the continuous flow of water. This is called sheet erosion. Another important erosion is wind erosion. Wind erosion. In this, you know that there is very much power in the wind also. When wind blows during hot weather season over a large area, they also carry a lot of upper layer nutrients, upper layer components to the different places, and they transport it there. So when wind blows over a large area of the land, and this wind blowing from the west to the east, that time the wind also takes a lot of things from the surface of the earth and get it deposited to other places. This is also known as wind erosion because the fertility of the soil, the upper layer of the soil also get washed out due to strong blowing of wind. This is also called wind erosion. So dear students, in India there are a lot of erosions taking place day to day life, and these erosions are major drawback for becoming the soil fertile. Therefore, we need to overcome these problems by a few ways, and these few ways are called conservation measures. See, now what are the conservation measures of soil erosion? Number one, counterflowing. Second, terrace farming. Third, strip cropping. Fourth, planting of shelter beds of plants. Now students, listen. These are conservation measures. Counterflowing means flowing along the contour lines can decelerate the flow of water and restrict the soil erosion. I'll give example. Look here carefully. Suppose this is a land, and land is like this. Look here, land is like this. How can we plow this land? If we plow this land in this vertical way, then it is very easy for the water to wash this area and settle here. So what happens when water is actually flowing from down to the slope, and if we flow in this line, again the channels of waters form, and when these channels of waters are formed, water after raining, water falls here and very suddenly or very quickly flows down to the slope, leading soil erosion. Therefore, if these type of lands are present or some farmers or peasants owns in their villages, then this type of land should flow in this contour line. Because after flowing to the contour lines, the bunds are formed in both sides, and these bunds, the lines, can obstruct the flow of water down to the slope, and the entire water settle here in each part of the land. The entire water settle there because there are bunds of the flowing which are made by the flowing. So for flowing along this contour line, decelerate the flow of water and soil erosion can stop. So in this way, conservation. Second, terrace farming. In mountainous region, the land is rocky, unpeaked. The land is mountainous or hilly areas. Like this type of land is there in the mountainous areas or Himalayan areas. Therefore, in this area, farmers usually cut the stakes into terraces. This is stakes are cut into terraces, and these terraces are obstruct the flow of water down to the slope. If terraces are made, the water settles here. Again, water is settled because there is terrace, and this terrace can obstruct the flow of water to down to a slope. In this way, stakes can be cut through the terraces, and this terrace farming can help very much in conservation of soil in mountainous and hilly areas. In India, central and Himalayan mountainous regions have well developed terrace farming. Tea, coffee, and other crops can be grown in terrace farming, where mountainous people or hilly areas people can do terrace farming very well. And even in the upper part of this hill, there is also water present because terraces are made. Third, street cropping. Large fields can be divided into strips, and strips of grass are left to grow in between the two crops. For example, let us take an example of how street cropping can be applied. Suppose there is crop, and this is also crop. This is also crop. Now, in between these two crops, the strip of the grass are left to grow. The strips of the grass are left to grow. It means again there is strip of grass. Suppose there is very high flow of water from this side, so the strip of grass can hold the soil very strictly, and these strip of grass also protect the plant from wind and water. In this way, strip cropping, there is also crops, there are also crops. These are in between the strips of the grass. Strips of the grass along with the crops can hold the soil for a long period of time if there is strong wind or water. And these strips of grass can break the force of wind and helps in the soil conservation. So in this way, strip cropping are also important methods to check the soil erosion, and in turn it significantly contribute in the conservation of soil. And last one, planting of shelter beds of plants. Planting trees on both sides of the farm, around the sides of the farm, can help to stop the flow of water, and can also help to break the force of wind. In this way, planting trees in all the areas of the land or agricultural area can break the force of wind and water and helps in the conservation of soil. In this way, counterflowing, terrace farming, street cropping, and planting of shelter beds of plants are important methods to check the soil erosion, and in turn it contributes conservation of soil. So therefore, students, if you find anywhere in your future life that there are soil erosion is taking place, bring that problem notice to the local authorities or local government or the district administration, and help the government or the people and the entire country to overcome this problem, because this problem is not their problem, it is also a duty as a concerned and educated person to overcome this problem, and in turn we have to help the country for the economic development and development of the agricultural sector, development of the farmers, etc. Hope you have understood both the parts soil erosion and conservation measure well. Once again you read the lesson and explore the different aspects of this part. Thank you.